Hey guys, Nikolai here. I just wanted to update that last gear talk video I did because I just showed you my 3-layer Gore-Tex setups, and I haven't really been using those all that much this season. 3-layer Gore-Tex is by far the best if you need something that's windproof, that's waterproof, and still breathes. It's called 3-layer Gore-Tex, but it really just looks like one layer, but it's called 3-layer because you have a face fabric on the outside, and then you have the actual Gore-Tex membrane below that, and then you have a backer textile on the inside. The way the Gore-Tex membrane works is that it has a really tight weave that's woven so tight that water droplets from the outside, if it's raining or snowing, can't make it through the membrane. But then it's so loose still that the vapor from your sweat can escape, so that you don't get wet from the outside when it's raining or from the inside when you're sweating or hiking uphill, like I do, sweating all the time. Most of my life I have just been skiing in one outfit throughout the winter. And this 3-layer Gore-Tex lyngen setup really is one that does it all, and it does it well. It weighs under a kilo and it will keep me warm and dry even on a day like this. But most days ski touring doesn't look like this though, especially now that spring's coming up. And on a day like this, Gore-Tex really is overkill. I mean, sure, it breathes, but it doesn't breathe that well compared to a lot of other fabrics. And if it's not really snowing super hard or raining, you don't really need that waterproof performance. So most of the days when I'm touring, the Gore-Tex won't actually be on my body for most of the day, unless it's snowing really hard or just straight raining. So this year, because I've been touring so much, I've been skiing mostly in this outfit. Just like with my Gore-Tex setup, I'll start off with a wool base layer, which is wool spun around a little nylon yarn, so it's really durable. Some people prefer synthetics as for their base layer because they claim it transports moisture away from your body quicker. But I prefer wool because it stays warmer when it does get wet. And also just because of the fact that I'm traveling so much and I don't always have laundry services available. So wool just stays less stinky over time too. So it keeps me warmer when I'm on the mountain and stinks less for long trips, which is good for multi-day trips, but also just, straight ski bumming. And then on my legs, I'm using the lyngen hybrid pants. Which is still actually Gore-Tex. It's the Gore-Tex Infinium, it used to be sort of windstopper. It's kind of like the windstopper membrane, I guess. They just sort of rebranded it and I guess pimped it up a bit. So it's the Infinium membrane in all the exposed areas, like your thighs and your ass, like all the areas that get the most exposure to the elements. But then the rest of the pants is this Flex 1 fabric, which is just crazy stretchy. And because this Infinium membrane, it's not as waterproof as the 3-layer Gore-Tex, like the Pro membrane, it breathes way better. So it just makes for a way more comfortable experience when you are out there for long days in the mountain. And it weighs almost nothing. I think it's 400 grams for the pants. And then you have a more protective fabric down low where your edges would be, damaging your pants. So yeah, been using this now the whole season, and I don't really have any holes in them. I saw I got one little scratch here now, but they're durable and good. And the rest of the features are just like the Gore-Tex pants. You have snow gaiters, cargo pockets, little pocket here, customizable waist tightening system here. But I still prefer putting a bib on them just because I like it to be loose around my waist so that I feel more free when I'm moving. You can get the bibs actually separate, they're sold separately in the Norrøna store, and then you can put them to pretty much any pants you want. These were ones I had left over from another set of pants, so they're a bit big, but they fit fairly well. And I really like it. You can keep your beeper in there, and I keep my mic in there for all my microphone needs. And then also one thing that I really like in ski touring pants compared to more resort focused pants is ventilation that doesn't have mesh in them. Mesh is super nice if you're skiing in snow and you want to have vents without getting snow into your pants. But when you're ski touring most of the time, you won't have that issue. And just a vent with no mesh works way better. It's way more efficient for transporting excess heat. away from your body. So if it is fairly warm outside and not that windy, I'll just be touring in my hybrid pants and my wool. But if it's at all windy or a bit colder outside, I'll also be wearing my Lofoten Hiloflex Midlayer. So it's sort of like a regular fleece, but it has a tighter weave on the face fabric, or like the outside of the midlayer. So it's actually like fairly like weather resistant. Like really wind resistant, but also like for snow. I've been hiking up couloirs in snowstorms where, you know, most of my mid layers would just soak up that snow and become soggy and nasty. This actually stays dry, and it also breathes like crazy because it isn't actually, there's no membrane in this. It's just how the fabric itself is woven. So it's like a bit like of a tight weave on the outside, and then the inside is super comfortable and like, you know, so soft against your body. So yeah, I've been using this pretty much every day ski touring, and really, really happy with it. This mid layer I do, of course, combine with my Gore-Tex when I use Gore-Tex, but it works really well with these like trending towards soft shell pieces because it actually has a bit of that weather protection function. It's not just insulating piece that you would put under your shell. It has all the features, these little hand gaiters. I've been really into this new style of hoods. They're like thin, so they fit really well under your helmet. And they've also integrated these ninja masks lately into the hood. But then you can also just kind of pull it down and wear it like a buff. So yeah, no, massive fan of the Hiloflex. And then whenever I'm stopping or up top for skiing, or whenever I get cold, I'll put on this Lofoten Primaloft 80 Anorak, which is also kind of like the Hiloflex Midlayer, this sort of, you know, hybrid piece. So it is an insulating piece with the Primaloft insulation, but it has Gore-Tex reinforcements in exposed areas, you know, where you get the most weather. So like your shoulders and your arms that you put into the snow, and here in the front, it sort of does the insulating and the protection all at once. And unless it's raining, or yeah, basically unless it's raining, it works super well, and I've been really happy with it. And one of the good things with Primaloft as compared to down is that it stays warmer when wet. Even if the weather does take a turn for the worse while you're out there, it will still perform. And also it has a pretty durable face fabric. So, you know, I've been skiing the trees, doing all kinds of jumps, and like using this in a way that I would never use, you know, my light insulating down pieces. I basically use this as a shell when I'm out there, and it has all the functionality that I do expect from, you know, from my shell. Like it has the big Napoleon pockets, massive vents on the side, just massive, and a hood that fits over my helmet. So where your 3-layer Gore-Tex setup is based around this idea of having one really sturdy, waterproof, wind-resistant shell on the outside, and then going really lightweight on all your insulating pieces underneath that. The idea with this sort of more hybrid setup is to have multiple pieces that breathe really well, but are also like a little bit waterproof, a little bit wind resistant, to have a more versatile setup. So no matter what layer you're at, you're more happy basically. And I find that this is by far the better option to keep me warm, but also not sweating when I'm out there for long touring days, unless it is super stormy or rainy. If you are just getting one outfit though, I would stick to the 3-layer Gore-Tex. It really does it all, and I mean, you can just layer on and off while going uphill or when it's sunny, so it will still perform. But if you know, have the budget and the room in your closet to have more of a wardrobe for going outside, I would consider these other options. And I put the links to all the products below. Have fun out there. And I'll try to get back to any questions in the comments. Just hit me up with whatever you got. And requests for future gear videos.